I come back to stream and this is what I get. You know, like, take a few days off. First fucking WoW video I watch is roasting me less than 10 minutes into the fucking video, man. What a nut punch, man. Yeah, what a nut punch. You get the loot, though? Hey, that's true.
With a couple of these people, and they were actually pretty chill. They taught me something that would forever change how I play World of Warcraft.
What is it?
Death rolling. The Azeroth equivalent to playing dice. It's very simple. You bet gold against each other and you slash roll 10 times the amount you bet. Then your opponent rolled the number you got, and the first person to hit one loses. To begin with, I had misunderstood the rules because I am a fucking idiot. I rolled 100 on my first try and assumed that these guys were scammers when they
gotta
didn't
give you all the money.
What went completely over my head, though, was Bob Gnarly running into unfathomable bad luck, hitting a 1 in 330.
God!
That's rough, buddy.
Bob!
Once I properly understood the game, they told me tales of a secret gambling ring in Ironforge, and one legend who was undisputedly the king of gambling. I had to know what this was all about.
Dude, should we start gambling? Should we start gambling on stream? I feel like this would be something really good for the kids. Because I know that I have there aren't really a lot of kids that watch my stream, but there's a few, and if I could just get them addicted to gambling, that will help me fulfill my, my ultimate goal of creating a casino in 5 years, and then it'll be called Teletubbies Casino, and it'll be tailored towards 8-year-olds. It'll be the first children's casino ever. I wonder why nobody's done that, man. Has anybody ever done a children's casino? Oh yeah, actually they have. It's called Chuck E. Cheese.
I went to Ironforge
and Pokemon booster packs.
This was the first time I would meet Compound, who I'd describe as a man with
and
a
EA,
severe problem. He'd been standing right here several hours a day for nearly 2 weeks, and his name preceded him for a very good reason. If you were confirmed to be an honorable gambler who pays up, he would take you up on any bet, any amount of times.
Wow.
And he'd cleaned out countless people. To show you guys that I didn't fake what you're about to see, I'm gonna walk you through every single bet I made, but just be warned, this isn't happy hour. I'm not fucking around. I'm goddamn serious. I start out with 115 gold.
That's Mom's spaghetti in the background.
Cut this whole part out of the script because I wrote way too much.
Yeah.
All you need to know is I was down to a fraction of my starting bankroll and decided to put it on the line. 33 gold, 0 silver, and 79 copper. Who wants to go the distance?
He's going all in.
Up on the offer.
Easy gold.
I roll a 1, after which I painstakingly give away all my wealth. I had nothing left.
That was a little anticlimactic.
This
just happened
is
immediately.
Where I started rising to glory. I'm goddamn serious here. Tony had rolled a 4, and I'd somehow missed it and rolled a 3. These people, myself included, were absolutely goddamn serious about the rules. So we redid the roll. I landed on a 3.
He fucked up. See, I don't know the rules, so I fucked up too.
I land on a 2, and boom, there it is.
Ooh.
And you know me. I had but one
dude,
thing
he just
to say.
doubled his fucking money.
66 gold.
Yo, dude, it's not gambling,
silver,
it's investing.
58 copper.
And the market's hot.
Who wants to go the distance? Tonus takes me for a dim-witted casual and rolls 1 in 36. That's what I'm talking about, baby. We won it all back. The legend of the gambler who actually chased his losses successfully.
You, Tonus.
But there's no reason to stop when you're on a roll. So it was time for some big dick bets. Me and Tonus went in for the big bucks with a 100 gold death roll. I roll 719, and by some unholy curse, Tonus rolls a 5. I bring it down to 3. Then I saw the 2 and I knew it was all over. Tonus rinses me for 100 gold, and now we're down to 26. I immediately went all in against Dr. Zeta. On a 420 roll, I start us on a 6.
That's not good at all.
Menacing.
That is not good at all.
As the 2 that Dr. Zeta puts down. Like a primal animal, I run it back and lock out on the 50-50, after which Zeta fails that same coin flip. He even added an extra gold in the trade. Now that's sportsmanship. But when you think about it, I just spent an hour and a half just to bankrupt myself. It's really not a good look.
Wait, so...
Anyways, I lose 20 to Zeta, and this is where Compound gets overconfident.
So, wait a minute. This is better. This is better than farming gold. This is how I should have farmed gold. I shouldn't have even asked for handouts. I'm actually a really good gambler. I know some people might not believe this, right? But I'm very good at gambling. Like, I should just do this. Like, that's what I should do on my stream, man, is just do fucking gambling. And that's it. Yeah, No, I am. Do you remember back whenever we did the rolls for the gold back on another Horde server and I made like 250,000 gold? Remember that? I do, because I felt really good about that. I even told my mom. And I was like, this is how I like to gamble. And I will do that, okay, man? That's all there is to it. Gambling with your dental health? No, that's not gambling. That's like rolling a death roll that goes 1-to-1.
See, he wanted to
not
be
a
the one
gamble.
to clean me out. He put his 66 gold against my 33, an offer I simply could not refuse. He rolls a 5.
Ooh.
I roll a 4.
Ooh.
And he rolls a 1.
Oh, fuck you,
back at 100
idiot.
gold.
Fuck you, stupid idiot.
And then we take a portal to Darnassus for a change in scenery.
Okay.
I roll for 50 with Zeta. I win 50 gold from
This
Zeta.
is awesome.
I lose 25 to Tonus and decided to quit while I was ahead and go do Blackrock Mountain with some of the people I was gambling with, which I'll tell you about in due time. But here's what happened when I inevitably continued death rolling for gold. I win 10 gold against Codex.
Okay.
He bumps it up to 20 and I tell him to make it 25.
Fuck, man.
In 3 rolls, that
This
one
kid's
was
getting-
a
this
quickie.
thing's getting
We
people
go for
addicted to
15,
gambling.
and
I
this
love
simply
this.
wasn't
This is
Codex
great.
day. I hit a 2 on his 2, and it's been a pleasure doing business with you.
Oh.
Now we're resting nicely at 170. I lose 20 to Ari, after which I lose 20 to CJ on his first death roll after I just taught him the game. That's how...
See, you should just... like, shouldn't have given him the money. Be like, that's not how the game works, because he doesn't know the rules at that point. So you could still not give him the money and it'd be okay. So, listen. I actually really want to do this. Like, I haven't done gambling for a long... I actually think... I unironically think gambling is good stream content. It's just that whenever you're doing it with real money, I feel like that's whenever it's kind of bad, because it's like, you know, people get addicted, etc. But yeah, that's the only way that I'm okay. Gambling is all about manipulating the rules. Well, of course it is. Like any good gambler, like, so the way that I gamble is if I have like $100,000, right? I will not gamble. I'll make $150,000 and then I'll put, as soon as I can make my money back, then I'll only gamble the $50,000 that I won and never gamble my initial money. You know, and that's the secret, is you can never go into the negative. You can only go back down to 0. Yeah, that's the, no, yeah, you know when to hold them, know when to hold them, know when to fold them. That's the way it is. Yeah, basics. That's basic economics.
Depraved I am. The usual gambling clique had left, and I actually had to rope other people into it to keep gambling.
Yeah.
I win 24 gold over Codex with a bit of nutty luck. I win 50 from Codex. Codex wins 50 from me. Jupes comes in and drops 15. I grab 10 from Codex. And because I like a clean number, we roll for 11. Throw in another 10, that puts us at 180. I'm starting to think this is skill and not luck. Win 15 gold. Now it's time to go big. 50, he rolls a 5. I hit 4. He hits 4. I hit 3. He hits 2. I hit 2. He hits 2.
Oh,
God fucking damn it, I hit 1. After losing 50, I win 25.
That
After
sucks.
winning 25, I lose 25. Codex, the bastard, keeps
God
winning
damn.
these coin flips and takes another 20 from me.
Ooh.
Now I've spent 3 hours and I'm exactly where I started.
Yep.
So I said, fuck it. I'm
Welcome
all
to the
in.
casino.
The numbers got lower and lower until Jupes hit a 5.
Ooh.
I win the 80% RNG, and
Yep.
sadly, he couldn't muster the luck to win a 1 out of 3.
Suck on my
That's right,
fucking
bitch!
dick,
Double up to
dude.
clean 250.
Ooh.
Take 25 from Codex.
That's money.
15 to El Hopos, and
That's
brutally
money
give up
right
60
there,
gold to
dude.
Not Meta, who it should be
So
known
many
is
money.
Compound's alt. Another thing to note is that they came back to Death Roll at 4:30 in the morning. Compound and I roll for 100 gold. We drop the 666 in the chat, after which I roll a 5.
Yep.
Compound rolls a 3. Yours truly takes it down to a 2. Now we're in 50-50 territory. he actually puts a 2 down. I don't like that. I don't like the look of that at all. So what I do is I actually also put a 2 down, but then at the same time fart in his face.
Oh, God.
And you already know what the fuck is up.
Fuck him, dude.
Gold. Kung Arthur loses
Fuck
25.
him, dude.
Z loses 40. Fiona drops 25. And finally, Roxanne is my 5th win in a row.
Wait, what the
comfortably at 400
400 gold? This guy's a god.
And I rolled for 50 with Compound. He'd been death rolling.
This guy's a fucking, he's a fucking god. What the hell?
Starting to break him. When he lost this roll, he simply started fleeing. Naturally, I hunted him down and got my money. When some rogues then killed Jupes, I took it as a sign.
Oh, phase 2, by the way.
420 gold.
Yeah.
A few days later, I returned at 2 a.m. The death-rolling hustlers were to be found in their usual spot. But it was not a good night for
Dude, I just like how it's a fucking circle, man. Like, all the homeless fucking gambling drug addicts that are at the side of 7-Eleven trying to flip pennies against the goddamn building. And they're sitting there trying to gamble, like, free chili that they got from inside the building because they used up all their goddamn money. And it's the same thing in Ironforge with players, dude. It's like, there's something about gambling that's just fundamentally fucking degenerate. Like, there's a reason why Islam, I'm pretty sure, bans gambling. Like, they ban that shit. Like, nope, that's not gonna happen. And, I mean, listen, you're making these little circles like this. I mean, if this is real life, man, they'd be fucking all wearing hoodies with sunglasses, and it's dusk outside. It's already dark, but they've still got their sunglasses on with the hood on, with their fucking money in their pocket, and they're smoking cigarettes, and it's just... it's a whole fucking thing, man. Gambling is just fundamentally degenerate. That's why it's funny to watch.
Compound. Over a 2-week period, he was down over 10,000 gold. He had emptied his main, and now he was on his alt, peddling away his last epic item, the Staff of Jordan. An absolutely incredible item with a 0.02% drop chance. After weeks of senseless death rolling, he was at the end of the road. I love it. Broken and defeated. I couldn't help but pity him in this fiendish state.
Wow.
He was truly at his lowest, attempting to sell his last treasured item just so he could have one last hit of dopamine before he'd go back to solo farming Hand of Justice for 15 gold per Angerforge kill.
Just so he can make the money back.
If you don't play WoW and that's all blibbly blabbly to you, know that he would have to spend many
hundreds of hours
of his life to even rebuild a fraction of what he once had. I saw this man on his knees at his most vulnerable.
And take him for all he's worth.
I thought to myself,
take him for all he's worth, man.
Give him nothing, but take from him everything. The staff was selling on the auction house for 350 gold. Compound wanted to use it instead of gold to roll against someone. His friends simply couldn't bring themselves to do it to him. I knew I had all the leverage.
Gamble with him.
I told the broken man, I can settle on 160. All you would have to do is type /roll 1600.
Oh, music, dude. This is good. 13. Oh.
I tell these gentlemen, it's been a pleasure doing business with them. And if you thought I was done, you haven't been paying attention. I told you, I don't fuck around. Compound starts taking gold out of his guild bank and racking up debt with his friends because he wants to win his staff back. I rolled him for 50, and whatever was left of his soul got sucked out when he oofed at 1 out of 27.
I feel like the best and the worst thing about Classic WoW is the fact that you can create these fucking microcosms of a society that are so degenerate. I made this fucking response to Soda's tweet yesterday. Is like the degeneracy of Classic WoW is part of what makes it special. Because in the real world, right, you have people that are normal, well-adjusted, working adults that are making decisions and changing and directing society and saying who gets to do what and what goes where and what's acceptable and what's not. But the difference in Classic WoW is that it's the exact opposite. You have these degenerate, shut-in, basement-dwelling morons that are failing out of high school because they just can't stop playing the game. They're directing the way that you live your life in this game. And it's so degenerate and disgusting that it's like a window into the true nature of people. I think it's like a psychological thing, man. It's so awesome. I love it. I really, really do. How's your time off? It was great. I did nothing. Lyric announcements on Twitter. Okay, we're going to look at the Lyric announcement and the Tim the Tatman announcement and the Dr. Lupo announcement, everything like that after we finish the video, but I don't want to interrupt the video for us to look at the announcements. Okay, guys? WoW is a social experiment. I love it. That is the best part of the game and also the worst part, right? I think at a certain point it becomes overwhelming and there are negative aspects to it, but I think that the fact that people are able to do that is what makes it so special. That's what makes it so fucking special, man.
Kikika wants to avenge his friends whose night I clearly ruined. And on a 1 to 18, I take 100 gold from this loser.
Ooh,
resting
fuck that bitch.
Pleasurably at
500 G.
I roll compound for another 50. Luck finally seems to be coming his way when he hits a fat 2.
Ooh.
Sadly for compound,
Ooh.
I'm a true legend of Azeroth, and I rinse him for another 50. I went BRD and started death rolling there, because why play the dungeon when you can play real World of Warcraft? I managed to bring myself barely to 600 gold before my WoW GF actually fucking destroys me for 50. After which I go back to Ironforge.
Time for a new girlfriend, man. Get a divorce.
50 gold, I drop a 2. He drops a 2. I drop a 2. And it's easy as that, folks. He decides to raise the stakes to 100.
Pussy.
He drops a 2.
2!
Oh no! I absolutely rinse him like the primal fucking animal I am.
Oh my god! This guy's really good at gambling.
Gold. I lost a few smaller bets, setting me back to 676, and then a day later, whilst compound was down gambling to this mean dwarf named Shorty, I sell Shorty the Staff of Jordan for 260 gold.
Oh my god!
Right under compound's nose. And that's how you afford your epic mount level 55, bitch! 900 gold earned in less than 10 hours. Go home, Chinese gold farmers. I'm the goddamn king. I run this shit.
Yo, Frostradamus needs to watch this video.
Delusional. This is the only fun part of this boring-ass game. I admit I felt a little bad when less than a minute later Compound asked if I still had his staff. But I made it up to him by rolling him for another 50.
Okay.
God, I love this game. To cut a very long story short, I would go on to death roll every single day instead of leveling for the next week. You may not know this about me, but I'm very, very impulsive. And I'll have you know that even within the constraints of the YouTube advertiser guidelines, you might get away with saying that I have allegedly many years of experience with respectively online slot machines and Texas Hold'em. And based on said imaginative experience, I would hypothetically know that the only winning move here is to stop playing.
So don't
I somehow ended up at 1600 gold. That's after buying bank space, all the 16 slot bags I wanted, getting my Crusader enchant, sending like 200 gold to my WoW GF just because I'm a pimp like that, leveling up all my skills, and paying compound to farm Hail of Justice for me for hours. After which I won all the money back I just paid. For a man like him, it never ends. He's simply in too deep. But there's still hope
my god.
You see, I have dreams, things I wish to do with my life. I'm not going to be a nobody role-playing dice for fake money in Ironforge. For the rest of my days, whilst my central nervous system grows ever less capable of regularly producing dopamine, I have to rise above it, get to level 60, buy my epic mount, clear Molten Core, get percentage hit gear, and respect to Fury Warrior so I can buy up the dual wield. Then I have to slay countless Horde players and finally make a PvP montage in 240p with copyrighted music. Then, and only then, can I truly become a legend of Azeroth.
Absolutely.
So I don't got time for this shit. I got places to be and things to do. I'm quick on my feet, vicious, some would even call me nimble. And whilst we're on the subject of velocity, here's something quite interesting. Every race in WoW has exactly the same base move speed. Here's the myriad of things I did to change that. You remember when we did Alderman? That's when I started a quest chain that led me on a scavenger hunt across the world.
Oh,
I killed Grelborg the Miser in the Alterac Mountains.
I hate this
Then I went to Dustswallow Marsh to kill Dagon the Ravenous. And finally I journeyed to Stranglethorn Vale to kill Moog the Undying. At the level I was at, I described the process of soloing these elite mobs as trial and error. After bringing the Star of Zelia, the Hand of Dagon, and the Legacy Heart to Garrick Bone Grip in Ironforge, I do the final part of the quest. Forbidden Knowledge, which led me to Theldarin in the Badlands.
Oh, isn't this where you get the watch?
Grants me the Skull of Impending Doom, which is an offhand that sucks your life force in exchange for movement speed. In the Badlands, I also completed another quest, incorrectly named This Is Going to Be Hard.
Oh, yeah.
It was a very easy quest, which got me the nifty stopwatch, a trinket that increases my run speed by 40% for 10 seconds.
Fast.
Then I crafted the Gnomish Rocket Boots, got them enchanted with 8% extra movement speed.
Damn.
And as the cherry on top, I got my banging WoW GF to brew me some swiftness potions. Right after spending that good handful hours of my life was the very moment I found out that these movement speed bonuses, they don't stack. So I couldn't even do the move I'd worked so hard for. And even if I could, it dawns on me that I'm intensely untalented. Here's a great example. I jump down with a Skull of Impending Doom because I want to look like a swagged-on gliding fast with my parachute cape.
Of course.
I completely forget to re-equip my weapon. I don't question the fact that I'm only doing 3 damage, and to round out this masterpiece of a wipe, I also pop Retaliation whilst none of the mobs are attacking me. Nearing 300 hours of game time, and I'm still more often than not the sole reason why we fail miserably. With the Eastern Kingdoms engaging in a plethora of territorial land wars, I decided to switch continents and hope that the Horde were less prevalent in Kalimdor. I went to Tenaris and killed an unreasonable amount of Thistle Shrub Dew Collectors to get the Latent Dew Gland.
I only had to kill one.
Wowhead tells me it has a 13.65% drop chance, and there's literally no way that's true. We killed like 200. After it finally dropped, I decided to undertake the closest thing to self-harm World of Warcraft has to offer. A cross-continent escort mission. I walk Tuga all the way across Tenaris, only for him to be reunited with his wife, who's absolutely stuck up, tells him to go get food, and generally just starts bitching at her long-lost soulmate. Then, I turned in the first thing I thought of.
No wonder he was on the other side of Tenaris.
To complete this very special quest, I had to acquire a plant on the other side of the world. So I take my Hearthstone to Ironforge, travel to the hinterlands, and collect a mushroom from the bottom of a lake.
Of course.
Then I use my ultra-safe transporter to teleport to Tenaris, because absolutely fuck Menethil Harbor. Due to a minor malfunction, I'm turned into a troglodyte. Once the troglodycia wears off, I make Sprinkle turn this mushroom into violet powder, and she tells me,
"Oh, cocaine." That makes sense.
I take the violet mushroom powder to Marin Noggenfogger, and right as I turn in the quest for the Noggenfogger elixir, I hit level 53. At which point, I decided to start questing in Ungoro Crater.
Oh, he's gonna die.
You can actually jump straight in there from Tenaris if you have the parachute cape, which, as it turns out, doesn't work when you're mounted. Now, when performed correctly, the parachute cape will let you gracefully glide through the air, avoiding the certain death of a high-altitude fall.
Isn't he gonna die anyway?
Although if you do stress test your physique against the harsh perils of gravity, know that you can't recover your corpse, so enjoy 10 minutes of res sickness, fool. Another way to do it is to activate the cab a tad later, take a chunk of fall damage, and die to the Pterodax. And finally, here's the actual way to perform the trick. I calculated that with absolute maths and perfect precision. The joke's on me, though. I'll still have to wait for Emiri to corpse walk.
Yep.
I love World of Warcraft Classic, man.
Yo, that shit was
Ungoro is thematically one of my favorite zones. It's this jungle in the
Where's
crater.
all the Horde?
It definitely feels secluded from the rest of the world, and the vibrant colors mixed with exotic ambience absolutely immerses you for several minutes at a time, until you're corpse camped by disgusting Horde players. I managed to finally escape them, only to have the worst questing experience of my life. I killed these tar lurkers that make you walk really slow. I picked up various glowing Konokai crystals, and then I rode all the way to 3 different pylons. There's always the usual, extremely rewarding drop rate quest that can take anywhere between 4 minutes and 2 hours.
More like 2 hours and 4 hours. Yeah, that was pretty bad. I remember, so I never completed the quest for the pylons because I didn't know the difference between east and west. Like I didn't know the